some of my earliest memories of ever coming out here were well over 20 years ago, and buddies and I would go over to the dam and duck hunt out here because that's really all that you could do out here.
You're right, Todd. You nailed it. Duck hunting was a big draw here simply because the fishery was very limited access-wise. It was a decent fishery. It had a lot of bass and sunfish here, but the anglers couldn't necessarily get at that because we had limited access. There was a lot of weeds and vegetation problems choking the shoreline and very limited access unless you had a boat. So what we're trying to do now is change that and provide that access to our anglers.
You know, and this is actually just one of several different project lakes that we've been working on over the last few years, right?
Correct. We've had a concerted effort in Fisheries Division to try and renovate these lakes and make them the jewels of Oklahoma fishing. Our ODWC lakes, we feel, should be our better fisheries. Dahlgren Lake here does have a history to producing a good sunfish and quality sunfish, so we're focusing the effort here, management-wise, on producing quality sunfish, trophy sunfish, and providing that fishery for novice anglers, for children, for kids to come out and access this easily from the bank and catch those sunfish.
Now, over the years during this renovation project, I've had the pleasure of coming out and seeing it at all different stages, and it's been fascinating to see how much effort and planning is going into this. So tell us some about it.
Sure. This has been about almost a 3-year project and a 3-year process to get us to this point. We've put a lot of effort into providing fish habitat and producing a quality fishery, but our real focus here was simply on the access. We needed to allow anglers to access this fishery. We improved the boat ramp. We provided a new expanded parking area. We've got a brand new floating dock to allow our anglers to get on the lake. We built 5 fishing jetties that are accessible from shore so that bank anglers can get out here and catch those fish. So although the fishery was part of the focus of our renovation, I would say the primary focus was simply on providing quality access and allowing our anglers the opportunity to access these fish from shore.
You know, one of my favorite aspects of this project has been these unique types of fish habitats that you've put out here, and I'd never seen it done before.
Right. Being the Fishery Research Lab in Norman, we have some creative folks there, and we did come up with some unique ideas. One of them being using these trees that we cut and sinking them into the ground upside down so the root wad stays near the top of the water. It provides overhead cover for bass and sunfish, and it also provides a target for these anglers from the bank where they can see that habitat out there and cast towards it, knowing that there's likely to be fish around there.
Well, it's so neat to think that, you know, we can see a few of these right behind us here, and that's literally the upside down root wad of a tree, and the trunk is down in the ground.
That's correct.
That's pretty ingenious. Even though this was nearly a 3-year project, the fish aren't necessarily just 3 years old.
That's right, Todd. So what we did here in order to have the fishery ready for anglers is we have stocked it with adult fish. So the adult sunfish that are in this lake have been here for several years, and they're 4 to 5 and 6 years old, and they're producing multiple year classes of fish. We have adult bass in the lake, we have adult catfish in the lake, because we wanted to have it ready for our anglers when we did open it. We didn't want them to be having to catch small fish and juvenile fish, young fish. We stocked it with adult fish simply so we'd have it ready for our anglers.
Well, I know anglers are going to be excited to know that this is finally open and ready for business out here with plenty of new and improved access.
Yes, sir.
So the adult bass kind of have a unique little story.
That's right. The adult bass in this lake have come from a couple of different sources, one of them being our Durant State Fish Hatchery. What we have done is periodically retire some of our brood stock from our Florida largemouth bass program. And we were fortunate enough that we got about 50 of those retired brooders to live out retirement here in Dahlgren Lake. So they're going to be providing a genetic boost to the bass population in this lake for years to come while enjoying their retirement.
That's great. You know, there are lots of great things going on in our fisheries division, and this really is the heyday of fishing here in Oklahoma. So we'd hope that you would take an opportunity to get out and enjoy one of our great opportunities statewide this summer.